Hello, everyone. This is Jaden for Student Pages. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we are joined by two of the people who are involved in the band Pentire. We are here with Jack Morgan and Owen Seymour. How you guys doing?
Hello, I'm
Very well,
good. How
thank
are
you.
you?
Awesome. I'm doing great, thank you. So, you guys, first of all, congratulations on the new EP drop. Massively
Thank you very
impressive.
much.
I've given it a
Thank
listen.
you.
Personally, favorite song is Four Times Change. Big fan of that one.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you guys? You got a favorite song in the EP?
I think currently mine is Have You Had Enough? But it's always changing.
Yeah.
I think it
It's, I
depends
mean,
which song we're not the most fed up of.
Yeah, it's supposed listening back a billion times over, making sure you get everything how you want it.
Yeah, there's
absolutely.
definitely a time where we hate all of them, I think. But
Mhm.
yeah,
I think mine's Burn for sure. I love the motive of that, and the theme of the city burning down and trying to save it and stuff. So yeah, I think Burn has
Yeah,
always been my favorite since I wrote it actually. But yeah,
yeah, I do. Yeah, good choices. Right, so first of all, for everyone watching, are you all right just to give a little bit of a background, sort of how you got into the industry?
yeah, sure. So it's actually a funny story the way the band came together. Me and Owen, which is convenient that we're both on. We played a gig in both of our old bands. Owen's band supported my band in a gig we put on in our hometown of Ross on Wye. Oh God, years ago now, 2017, something like that. We both our bands broke up on the same day, and then we just kind of gravitated towards each other, dropped each other a message, and yeah, the rest is history. So they say we met Jacob and Jake at uni in Bath, and then yeah, that's kind of who we are now. That's how we kind of came together
You're like a ragtag team, really,
a
patching
little
up
bit.
parts of something broken.
literally, yeah.
Exactly, a
I
little
think
bit.
it's
Yeah,
for the best. But
brilliant. So, as I said earlier, you've just released this brand new EP, Love on TV. Really great, loving sort of, it's like there's a real, it's quite mellow, if you know what I mean, but equally, it's like there's some themes in there that are really quite, I don't want to say drab, but it's like, it's very sort of heartfelt, if you know what I mean. Like there's a lot
Mhm.
in there that's really, sort of down the alley. So how would you say making the EP has developed you guys as artists? It's like, did you change anything in your creative process or, do you have a certain way of doing things?
I think as a whole, the EP came together this time rather than song by song, which was nice. We had a definite motive which we were going for. So it was nice to write sort of six songs that we knew would be in a project together, as opposed to, or like, I think the first EP we did, Now in a Minute, it was very good, but I don't think we expected a lot of the songs to be an EP eventually. A lot of the songs were written before we even thought about doing an EP. Whereas this time around, we knew it was going to be an EP. We knew what we wanted from it, which I think was really nice. The creative process was a lot better this time, I think.
No, fantastic. So in regards to music, we've spoken briefly about it, but how would you guys describe your music? What do you think makes it different? What makes it stand out?
I think we always try and write songs for a live audience, which I think I know a lot of bands do, but I think that's something that's quite rooted deeply in the core of Pentire is that we want to, get people down into a room and have fun and get the mosh pits going, get it sweaty, whatever. And
Yeah.
that's kind of always something that's in our minds when we're writing. I think in our bio we call it post-Django indie is what we call ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I see it. I see
Whatever that means, yeah.
whatever that means. We just felt right.
Weirdly nail on the head, I'd say, actually. I kind of see where you're coming from with that.
It
It's
definitely
one of
means
those.
something. I'm not
Yeah,
sure what it is, but it's definitely Pentire, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
because you guys are going live fairly soon, aren't you?
We're
Yeah,
going
tour
on tour
start two
2 weeks.
weeks tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, very soon.
Yeah, very soon, very
How you
exciting.
feeling? You feeling ready? Feeling excited? Yeah.
We've got
Yeah, it's
our
very
rehearsal
exciting.
tonight, so hopefully
Oh
we'll be
wow.
ready. We'll find out, I guess, when we walk on the stage in Bristol at Thekla.
Awesome. Well, best of luck for that. So, how would you guys say that the people around you, sort of both creatively and just generally people in your life, how would you say they've helped you get to where you are?
From my point of view, like growing up with an acoustic guitar and writing songs and stuff, I had a quite a musical family. My granddad was a drummer in a band, and my dad he can play guitar, but he was very like my harshest critic growing up. Absolutely, like every song I still write, I take to him, goes through him, and if he likes it, then everybody else gets to hear it, sort of thing. So that from my point of view, about my family has been very encouraging and very good in kind of honing this kind of music.
I think it's just nice having a lot of creative people around us now, which is very
Mm.
different to when Jack and I were writing songs we didn't know would even sort of have bass or drums on it to start with. It's nice to have being able to write knowing that, we can each bring something to the table.
So you guys would say that, because you mentioned you're in bands before, would you say that working with each other has been a totally different kettle of fish in a sense? It's like, it's been better for you, would you say?
I think it was a
That's
breath of fresh air when I first met Jack compared to the band before that. We both wanted the same thing, which was to do what we're doing now, which,
Mhm.
to be completely honest, we never thought we'd get to do. So that's nice. It doesn't even feel like real life
Wow.
looking back on
Yeah,
that now. Yeah, they were just like
yeah,
college
it does.
bands, and it was like 7 years ago now. Yeah.
Wow. So you've been doing it a while.
Yeah, too long.
Long time.
We might
Yeah.
retire soon, I think.
Taya, you're young yet, honestly, you're fine. So as far as like, taste in music and stuff, because you mentioned your dad earlier, Jack, it's like, you know, have you always surrounded yourself with people who have sort of a similar taste in music? Because I've always wondered whether that sort of has an impact on people's, not opinions necessarily, but sort of feedback that they give you. It's like, what sort of music is he into? And do you think, the kind of music you're making now, do you think that really is like his style of music or?
I think definitely you kind of it's rooted deeply in how you do everything. I think how the music you listen to growing up and the music that you even subconsciously listen to. I remember we used to have an old Volvo V40 and we'd go around with my dad's mixtape playing on loop, and there was a lot of Paolo Nutini. It was the Caustic Love album, which has always stuck in my mind as like one of the biggest influences in my music. I remember he listened to Back in Black AC/DC so much, so that might not shine through so much in Pentire,
Hey,
but
can't blame him. Great song.
well, the whole album. But I think the music that you hear growing up is kind of, I mean, yeah, AC/DC was my first memory of music, really. So I think it's always going to have an impact. Owen, I know you've got some interesting influences
Yeah,
from
I
your
think
family
if you
as
looked
well.
at all of our like music growing up, you'd think, why are they in a band together? There's enough crossovers that it really makes sense, I think. We've all got
Yeah.
the niche bands. I mean, Jacob's very sort of classic rock influence.
Hmm.
He loves like Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, and that. But that was a big part of my childhood, I think. But yeah, when Jack and I first met, we definitely bonded over our love for the same bands at the time. But that matures, and I think there's
Yeah, I
bands
was gonna say,
we
I
probably
think
love.
having
Mm.
people as part of it who have sort of different tastes in music, that must help you sort of get a better idea of what you want to go for. It's like having sort of that knowledge and having that, level. What's another word for expansiveness? You know what I mean? It's like sort of
Yeah,
knowing so
Yeah,
much can help you narrow it down.
I
I
think it
think
can only
it's
add to it.
constantly changing, which is good. Some people are stuck in their ways, whereas the bands me and Jack loved when we were 17, we probably don't love so much now. But we've like matured at the same time and we like the same bands now, and it's just nice. Yeah.
Ah, brilliant. So moving on to something slightly different. Obviously, it's a slightly difficult topic to talk about for some, but have you guys sort of had any, run-ins with mental health throughout your process of making music? Have you ever had that level of self-doubt, or have you always been pretty sure in what you're doing?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's always tricky. It's always hard. Being in a band is really difficult in some, well, in every way, to be honest. Like there's so many struggles, whether it's, you know, like there's been times where I'm just kind of sat in my room going like, why can't I write songs? And the writer's block is really horrible. But
Oh yeah,
yeah, there's so many struggles, but the highs often outweigh the lows for us, I
Yeah.
think. The buzz that
that's
you
good.
get when you stood in a room and there's 400 people singing your song back is just unmatched. It will never be, can't think of the word, never be beaten for me. That's it.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of obvious struggles, which,
Mhm.
like Jack says, like writer's block, but there's so many that you wouldn't think about, like monetary problems and stuff like that, which a lot of people assume we do this full time, and they'd be wrong to assume that. Very
Oh God,
wrong.
that's a whole other topic, isn't
But
it?
yeah, I
Yeah,
think a
there's
lot of the most of the stresses aren't obvious, but they
mm,
just come with being in a band.
yeah.
And
I mean, you guys are obviously no spring chickens to like making music and stuff. Because I'd look at Spotify and things. It's like you get really kind of ridiculous streams and stuff. They're great. But yeah, to actually
thank
like
you.
sort of do it full time, you've really got to hit the big time. It feels to me, and you can correct me if you have a different opinion, but sort of to have a living as a musician, you sort of do almost immediately gain that celebrity status, if you know what I mean. It's like if you're making a living doing music, you sort of have to already have a pretty substantial, following to sort of get the revenue and things.
I think you have
100%.
to be ridiculously big these days, especially as a band. There's four of you, if not more. I mean, I saw a podcast with Wonder Horse the other day, who are obviously huge in our eyes, and two of them still work, which is crazy to me.
Mental that. I mean, I don't know if I should say, well, it's all right, it's fine. So on Spotify last year, we worked it out. Obviously, we had our Spotify Wrapped, and we worked out that I think we had 2.3 million streams last year, and we made £7,000 from it. And it sounds like lots on the surface, but it's like, okay, well, there's four of us, so instantly divide that by four. We've got a manager, take 10%, and it's like there is it for us. It was just a pivotal moment of like, how on earth do we make this work full time? Like, we've all got jobs, obviously, and it's just like it's so difficult. Obviously, I'm not complaining. We love what we do, and to be able to do what we do and go on tour and stuff, it's honestly a childhood dream for all of us. But it does kind of highlight it. It's like, oh my God, like how do you do it? Like it's mental.
It's
Yeah.
becoming increasingly harder to do it. I mean,
Mhm.
but
Mm.
like Jack said, I mean, all that money as well goes straight back into the band so we can make another EP and we wouldn't
Yeah.
change it. And
I mean, that's great though, because it shows that you are passionate and that you're doing it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Because again, there's a lot of people who sort of have a talent and then almost not exploit, but yeah, sort of exploit that talent because
yeah,
they have an ulterior motive in mind. With you
Mhm.
guys,
take
it's
the
clear
money
to
and
me that
run.
it's like, yeah, but with you guys, it's clear to me that you have this idea, you have these talents, and you want to use them just to show people what you can do, not for any. So yeah, it kind of sucks, that the money isn't amazing, but I think it's great that that isn't why you guys are doing it.
Yeah,
100%. It was
no,
never the
exactly.
reason.
If you wanted to make money, we'd be in a covers band and do weddings. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you got to pick
yeah,
one or
no,
the other, really, when you pick up a guitar, and we've chosen the one which makes us no money.
Hopefully one
yeah.
day.
Yeah, you have plenty of time, yeah. So, regarding social media, this is something we always touch on because, a lot of people going into not only the music industry, but also any creative industry always want to know, how to utilize their social media to help their brand. So, how would you guys say social media has played a part in where you've gotten to up to now? And what suggestions would you have to people regarding how to use it to get further in the industry?
It's huge. It's everything. Yeah. I mean, this age of TikTok, it literally is everything. I mean, the way we portray ourselves is on our socials. The way we promote ourselves is on our socials. And yeah, if you're not doing it, you kind of have to do it. So I think there's a lot of people out there who don't want to do TikTok and kind of shy away from it, and almost like make it like an artsy decision to not do TikTok and kind of make it alternative. And it feels like not only is it like a bad business choice for like the band and stuff, but I feel like there is a way to make social media fun and artsy. And I think for us, I don't know if you've seen our TikTok, I don't know if I can swear, we mess about on
I've
TikTok.
not seen your TikTok, but I did see your Instagram and I got envious immediately. Like
The reels, yeah.
the layout and design of it is immaculate.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Social media is my day job, so I kind of have a pride in it.
Got you.
Yeah, the reels and the TikTok kind of side of things, we just kind of all get together and just have fun. And then I think that comes across in the videos.
Yeah.
And I think, well, go on, Owen, yeah.
I was going to say, like, as a general rule of thumb, if you were big before TikTok, you're probably all right. And if you want to be big now, you got to use it.
100%.
No, absolutely. Because again, I think, it's not even just you making content on TikTok as well. It's like people, these dance trends go huge all the time with people using really random music. Because I have noticed a lot of the big music on TikTok isn't like your obvious big songs. It's
Mm.
like, people on
Mhm.
YouTube are always searching, what's this song from TikTok? What's this song from TikTok? And it really is, it really does seem like pot luck whether your song goes massive and becomes a trend on there or not.
Yeah, it's one of those things
Yeah.
where we're not sure if we want it or not, because it's like, obviously, it's instant rise to fame and stardom and all that kind of stuff. But then it's like, I don't know if it builds longevity. I don't know if you become that band that has that one TikTok song. It's kind
You'll
of
never
like,
write a song as good as that then in other people's
yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the pressure of the writer's block if you had that? It was bad enough this time around. Yeah, it's kind of a weird debate, isn't it? I mean,
I think,
obviously, if anyone wants to blow a song up on TikTok, go for it. But
yeah, I think bands in our realm, like, all have a love-hate relationship with, well, I think we're specifically talking about TikTok here. Every other
Mhm.
social media is just a way of communicating with your fans, which is needed these days, just to
Yeah.
add tour, new music, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that online presence is definitely, really important, no matter how huge you already are. But no, so you've got me curious now, actually. Regarding writer's block, which you've already mentioned, I am just wondering, What's been your worst run-in with writer's block? Like, do you have a specific story or anything like that?
Oh my God, yeah. So we released the Now in a Minute EP. Everything went really well. We went on tour. We were having a great time. And then we kind of got off tour and we kind of went, nice, great, big holiday then. And it was about, we went on tour in May. So we got off tour in June. And at that point, the sun's out. We just went to the pub. And it got around to September time. And our management were ringing us going, okay, what's next then? Where's the next song? And we were kind of like, oh, right, okay. Yeah, we've still got to do this. And I think it must have taken us well over 6 months to write anything
Yeah.
that we liked. I mean,
Wow.
that was the birth of Don't Let Your Love Let You Down. And it got to the point where here's an insider thing is that the last tour that we did was meant to be an EP tour. And the EP just never happened because we got such bad writer's block that we couldn't write it. Yeah, so we had one song, Don't Let Your Love Let You Down, and we had an EP, but we were just kind of sat there listening to it, going like, this would work, but we're not proud of it. We don't love it. Not that we're not proud of it. We're proud of everything we write, but do you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
don't love it, and I feel like the one thing that we really wanted to keep from the start is this genuine feeling and passion to what we do. And as soon as we, I don't know, make a t-shirt that we don't like or write a song that we don't like, I feel like we've lost that. So it was definitely the right call to can it and to eventually arrive at Love on TV, which is now we've got, which I think is our best work yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, writer's block has been a pain in the ass for the past 6 months or whatever. But well, not actually, that's a complete lie because we've written my time scale's off. But you know what I mean? That 6 months, it was a complete pain. But hopefully we're over it now, and hopefully we're onwards and upwards.
I mean, do you guys have that itch? You know what I mean? When I say that, what I mean is, so once you've finished one project, you sort of have a nice grace period where you sort of revel in the fact that you finished one thing. But then do you not get that sort of scratch at the back of your head, like, I need to do the next thing?
I think though, like people don't realize, like Jack says, the timescales. This EP was done ages ago. Yeah, it's not. It's only coming out Friday. Oh, it's already out. If
Mhm.
you're watching this, go stream it. But
Okay,
yeah,
plug in there.
so I think when you stop is the worst point. I feel like not stopping is the best thing to do, but you almost want to take a break from it. But yeah, so this was like finished writing ages ago, finished recording it, 3, 4 months ago, and it's still not out. So the next EP might be done.
The other day we were talking about the next single, and the EP isn't even out yet. So
Yeah.
it's one of them, isn't it?
Always
But
on to the next thing.
exactly, yeah.
Do you guys have any sort of contacts with other bands and stuff who do a similar thing? And, if so, how important would you say it is to sort of know other people in the industry? It's like, do they sort of give you pointers, or, do you say, do you take inspiration from their works? It's like, how does that relationship sort of work?
I think we've made a lot of friends in the industry that you bump into at festivals or other places. But I mean, where we live, we don't really live in a place where we can see those people when we want to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's definitely friends that we have in the industry, but we're not lucky enough to like live near them or write with them as often as we'd like. We just feel a bit out on our own here, I guess, which is a good thing, I guess.
Now, I suppose it's good to sort of not figure it out on your own, but I think the fact that you guys are so, sort of that you have that very direct, focus on what you're doing. I think that's great because, it'll more than likely give you guys work a bit more personality, very much so more your own, would you say?
Definitely. Yeah, I think, we when you start focusing on what other people are doing, you start comparing yourself, that's when you start driving yourself down. I think we've always been we're very competitive people. I think you have to be in this job,
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
I think if there was a lot of bands in Bristol doing what we do at the same level, it would get messy. Like there'd be so much competition. I think we're lucky that we
100%.
don't have that, and a lot
That's
of
exactly what I'm
scenes
trying to
do.
say. Yeah.
If you're
And I
doing
feel
what
like
everyone else is doing, you'll get drowned out.
Yeah,
exactly. We got to make our own path, so to speak. If that's a cliche, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think when you start focusing on other people, then you start losing track of where you're going. So that's definitely a cliche. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, wonderful. So, aside from the music stuff, what kind of things do you guys do outside of it all? It's like, do you have any hobbies? Do you guys do much as a band together? It's like, what are you up to?
I mean, like I think our favorite time is being on tour, just being around each other 24/7. Another cliche,
100%.
but yeah, it's nice that we all live near each other. Yeah, so we're like mates first, band second, which is great, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the main thing. I like my cars. I like mountain biking. There's different things that we all do. It kind of relates to where we're from originally. Jacob's from Cornwall. He likes surfing. There's different things we use to spend to pass the time. We're all into F1. That's a good thing. Well, apart from you, Owen, actually.
Oh yeah.
There's lots that we do aside music, but music is the main thing. Music was always our original hobby, though. That's the problem. This still is a hobby a little bit. So this is kind
Well,
of
yeah,
what
I was gonna say it's like considering that you do so much of it, for the sake of passion, it's like, yeah, I suppose that would naturally take up a lot
Yeah.
of your thought and
I think
things.
like embarrassingly, the thing we do most outside the band is go to gigs, which is
yeah,
very much.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, you gotta reap what you sow.
Absolutely. I think we're just music lovers through and through. And one thing that we always pride ourselves on is that we'll go play a festival and we'll be more buzzed to get into that festival for free. And like, there's often like, well, I remember live at Leeds, we went to watch the Royston Club, and you, Owen, and Jake are in the mosh pit and like proper getting involved. And we're not scared to kind of get in the crowd and be on the other side of things because that's where we originated. That's where we found our love for music.
How does it feel, sort of, to be up there on the stage and perform for people? It's like, how does that differ from being the person watching it?
I think festivals can be scary because you don't know how many people are going to turn up. We've always been lucky, touch wood, but like when you do your own shows, you know before you're playing how many people are coming. So that's, the safe option. I think playing festivals though is really good. And like Jack said, if we don't have two festivals on the same weekend, we'll stay for the whole one festival that we're playing at. We'll go on the Thursday, we'll leave on the Monday, we'll do exactly what all the punters are doing, apart from we
Yeah.
just play a half an hour set on the Saturday or whatever.
So again, because we're student pages, we do, direct a lot of what we do towards students. So for any students at home who are thinking of starting their own band, thinking of going into a similar thing that you guys do, what advice would you give them? Where would you say they should start? Where do you think they should aim to go?
Just get in a room, play your instrument, write songs, just do it, and eventually it'll happen if it's meant to happen. That's kind of what we did, and now we're
I
here.
think that's the most important thing. I
Yeah.
think you learn stuff at uni which will help in terms of how you portray yourself and visual stuff and all that. But unless you get in a room with people you like and have the same interest as, you'll get nowhere.
No, true. It's like, I suppose if you're not, really linking with the people around you, it's like it's never going to work. You know what I mean? I guess it is important to sort of have that environment with people who are on a similar level to you, because again, like you just said, if someone in your group that you formed or whatever is wanting something completely different, it's never gonna work.
Exactly. And kick them out.
I mean, how do you decide who's the man in charge? It's like, would you guys say you have a man in charge, or do you all have very even stakes in things?
I mean, like me and Jack made a pact to each other at the start of the band, embarrassingly. So neither of us will ever leave.
Yeah, I
I
think
gotta
we're
respect that though, loyalty.
100%. Got to be loyal. You got to be in it to win it. I mean, there is days when all of us want to give up, and there are days we have to remind ourselves that this is why we're doing this, and this is what we're doing this for. So yeah, I think me and Owen have been here since day one. So yeah,
Yeah.
we've got packed.
Oh, that's really quite sweet, to be fair. I rate that. I rate that. So outside of writer's block, which we've already spoken about, have you guys had like a specific challenge that you've really struggled with in regards to the band? It's like, have you had any roadblock that you found quite difficult to overcome or anything like that?
Oh, I don't
I
know.
mean, COVID was
Oh,
difficult.
COVID was kind of good though, wasn't it? Because we kind of just did a load of social. It forced us to do the bits we didn't want to do.
True.
In,
COVID was
in my in
strange.
my time doing this, I've heard a lot about COVID. A lot, and it's funny quite how different the answers have been, because a lot of people really struggled with it and it completely blocked them off. Whereas with a
Mhm.
lot of others, it sort of really narrowed the focus.
I mean, it sparked a new way to write, and it sparked
Mhm.
a new way of, we made like weird videos for like singles that we released on YouTube or like SoundCloud that never actually came out, and it was as fun as we made it. Do you know what I mean? But I think it gave us the time to sort of sit down and go like, this is what we want to do. So we're going to put all our time now into something that people care about, which at the time was like social media. That's all people could do. People couldn't go to gigs, so we were like, well, let's concentrate on what we can do, which is weird because it probably never ever happened before. Everyone was writing to play at the songs at shows, whereas now we were writing to release these songs to people who just sat at home.
No, it's interesting that. Yeah, I suppose you have got to appeal to, whatever the primary audience is at the time. And yeah, you didn't exactly have many people going to, Leeds Fest or whatever when they were trapped indoors.
I mean, we did a few social distance gigs, which are just fucking really strange, to be honest.
Weird, aren't they? Yeah. Everyone sat down with masks on, which is strange.
Yeah, I'd imagine that'd be really odd because I suppose the environment at any live show is sort of the interaction and things. So cut off that, what you're left with.
100%. It was strange.
Weird. Yeah, I imagine that'd be strange. So anyway, you've got the EP coming out in 2 days, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Friday,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, wow. So you've got EP in 2 days, you're going live in 2 weeks. Is there anything else that you guys are working on at the minute that you're allowed to share, or is it all kind of under wraps?
I'm currently editing a live session that we've done, and we've played the EP in full. I don't know when this will be out. It might already be out at this point on YouTube, but that's gonna be really cool. And we went into a studio and just played it. It's really fun. But yeah, no, we're kind of busy writing the set, making sure everything's ready for tour. And there's a lot of things you need to order. I'm sat in front of a load of tour merch at the moment, and both all our houses are full of boxes. So yeah, we're kind of just prepping for that, really. I don't know. Is there anything else you can think of, Owen?
Just like writing the next stuff as well, really, which we're going to
Yeah.
continue after tour. I think you got a lot of people like to write on tour. I mean, we'd probably do that if it was a huge tour, we had a bus and that. But you got
We've
to
got a
switch.
big van this
I
time,
think.
though.
True. I think we just got to switch off and concentrate on the tour, which is going to be really good, actually. I'm very excited. It was a big step up this tour for us, but it's paying off, which is nice to
Huge.
see.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You guys have been doing great, honestly, from everything I've seen. It's like you've got real talent, really amazing music, and it's like I think it can surely only be onwards and upwards from here.
I hope
Hope
so. I do really
Very
hope so.
kind.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I think that's everything we've got for you guys. Best of luck with the EP release. Best of luck with going
Thank you
live as
very
well.
much.
It's been absolutely wonderful talking to you guys.
Sweet. Thank you very
Thank you very
much.
much. Thank you for having
No
us.
worries at all. Cheers.